Rise and shine, it's a brand new day. Ken can take the stage, ready to play. Weekdays at 10, the cars and the scene. Coffee in hand, they're living the dream. Question in the voice, got the whole town awake. Bringing fire to the mic, make no mistake. Shows in the corner, spitting out facts. Dropping truth bombs, ain't holding back. Ken in the morning, feel the heat. From 10 a.m. CST, can take a seat. Live and loud, that break in the mind. Light up your speakers, crank up the sound. They're talking about life upside down. Opinions exploding like a sonic blast. In the studio, they're built to last. With passion and grit, they engage and ignite. Every single week, they're all force can fight. From sports to politics,
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to edition of Ken and Ken in the morning. Sorry, I was a second late today. Oh, wait a minute. Fred, rather be fishing, but he's here instead. Good morning, Fred. We won't have Ken this morning. He's got a family issue he's dealing with. But we do have a Joseph. Good. What? Okay, where does the video go? Try this again. There he is. Good morning, Joe. Oh, he's frozen. All right, well, hey, there's Joe. We got War Week this week, and we got the Lions with a big game tomorrow night in Washington. And Adam Thielen, after getting his release from the Minnesota Vikings, has been claimed off waivers by the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't know if Thielen thinks he's going to make the playoffs with the Steelers, but I don't know. There's a shot, I guess, with them. You're on mute, Joe. Hey, Joe, you're muted. Lions versus Cowboys in Detroit, not Washington. Yeah, I said Lions and Cowboys, didn't I? I didn't say Redskins. Oh, maybe I don't know. That's going to be a big game tomorrow night, though. Lions are in trouble if they lose tomorrow. Hey, Joe, you're on mute. I said Washington? Okay, I'm sorry. I meant Dallas.
What's up, dude?
Nope, you're still. Yeah, there you are, brother.
Yeah.
So big game tomorrow. We got the 1-star rating system against the against the Lions. What do you think?
I mean, Dallas has got to be flying high after that Thanksgiving win over Kansas City. So, and their offense is starting to look dangerous. The Lions need this one. If they want to stay in the division race, they need this one.
Yeah, and you got Broski this morning too. And the Cowboys, same thing. If they want to even have a shot at making the playoffs, they need this one. So it's going to be a huge game tomorrow, Broski. Could be the end of the season
Sure is.
for whoever loses.
Yeah, Cowboys red hot. They are a completely different team than they were at the beginning of the season. Nobody wants to play Dallas right now. Lions secondary banged up. Cornerbacks banged up. Kirby Joseph banged up. I mean, there's certain Lions fans saying he's going to play this week. All the reports I see is like this is a lingering career-threatening injury. If he tries to play through it, there's a good chance that he'll be like 60, 70% and will re-injure himself. So that's not good when you have to try to cover CeeDee Lamb and Pickens and Ferguson and, Dak's on fire. It's going to be a tough matchup for the Lions.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, one of the keys for the Lions is going to have to be Hutch, right? Hutch is going to have to play out his mind, get to Dak, pressure Dak, make him uncomfortable. Like we see with the Bears, you don't have to get sacks. You just have to make quarterbacks uncomfortable. And Dak is one of those quarterbacks, if you make him uncomfortable, he makes mistakes.
Definitely. Dak's only saving grace sometimes is his mobility, but yeah, I mean, you know me, I call Dak and Jared Goff almost like one and the same quarterback. Like they're very similar. I mean, Dak obviously is more mobile, but you get pressure on them up the middle, they both kind of don't look so great. But yeah, it's the Lions right now. There was a Lions podcaster earlier today that said Hutch has played 95% of the Lions' defensive snaps this season. Which, if that's actually true, that's ridiculous. Like that's
Max Crosby
absurd.
numbers.
'Cause I know Max Crosby is usually like the leader for like defensive ends, like percentage of snaps played. And I think he's usually like around like what, like 85%, but not 95% is like
Fred
unimaginable.
Fred is confirming that stat, saying that he is correct. He is playing that much. I mean, look,
Damn.
if I were Lions, I'd play him every down I could as well. I mean, their defense, we knew their defense has some problems coming into the season, right? We've been ragging on their secondary for years.
Yeah.
The thing that frustrates me about the Lions, and I'm happy I'm frustrated by the Lions as a Bears fan, but the thing that frustrates me, like we had several points in this year where the Lions looked like the best team in the NFL, right? Like you're like, okay, this is that Lions team that won 15 games last year. This
Right.
is them back, and they looked great. And then the very next game, they come out and they shit the bed, and then they don't. They're I hate to say they're in transition, but are they maybe in transition trending the wrong way right now?
Yeah, I think that's a good
they
point.
had some key injuries too. Like, the injuries last season, they had a lot of them, but it was like Amon Ra was healthy, right? Like now Amon Ra is hurt, and like I think that takes away a huge chunk of their offense.
Joe, wasn't part of their mantra last year? Well, our backups are better than your starters. We have all this depth. Okay,
Yeah,
Yep.
you can have whatever mantra you want, but like the fact is the fact. Your superstar, players, if they're injured and they can't produce for you, like you're gonna take a step back,
Oh yeah. Laporta
So
and Brock Wright, I believe, are still out. They're top two tight ends.
yeah.
Amon Ra's out. I don't know if they're starting Glasgow at center or the other guy Cologne, but like neither one of those guys are good, so it doesn't really matter. Like,
and look, if JMO doesn't snag receptions early, whether he gets pass defended or he just straight up drops it, if that happens,
Yeah.
then Goff just doesn't look at him the rest of the game. Like Goff just
Yeah.
straight up ignores him.
yeah, and he's going to have no choice. Well, you would put it this way: you would think he would have no choice but to look at him this game, but you never know because, like, maybe he decides to throw to Tom Kennedy, maybe he decides to throw to Tesla, maybe he just throws a ton of underneath passes to Gibbs. Like, who knows?
I mean, that's the thing. They like the last name you say, Gibbs. That's the name to watch this weekend, right? If Gibbs can go off and wear his Superman cape and carry this team on his back and have another 200 yards of rushing and 3 or 4 touchdowns, hey, they can win this game. Tesla he's made 2 just poster catches this year, but outside of that, he's still a rookie wide receiver.
Yeah.
I think Tesla has some upside.
Oh yeah.
Definitely has some upside, but like this game for them, it has to run with the running back.
Yeah, that's a true story. Yeah, I mean, I just the Lions, like going back to what you said earlier, I think this offseason it is going to have to be like a major. It's not a rebuild, but like a retooling. Like a revamping, we'll say. Is something like that because they need like Decker's just hanging on right now. Like I expect Decker to pull like a Frank Ragnow this offseason. Like Decker, in my opinion, is very close to just hanging it up because I got to give the guy credit. He's tough. He's playing through like 4 injuries right now. Like, and he's not the same player he once was. Let's face it. So,
Woody.
yeah.
Yo,
Good morning, Woody.
yeah.
Woodrow.
Morning, Wood. What's going on, guys?
Yeah, we're
What's up?
talking a
What's
little
up, brother?
Lions 1-star rating system for tomorrow night.
Oh, me and Ken, that show is Huddle Sports Network. If it wasn't for Wednesday night show, this fucking Huddle Sports would be shit. It's all Ken, no disrespect to you. It is all mostly me that people are on the watch. I'm a different kind of breed.
Oh man.
And I don't like The Simpsons, so you can stop there, Homer.
Fuck, dude, that's crazy.
So hey,
Woody
I got a question.
Woody all of a sudden just came on here big timing us, dude. Like,
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Give it up for Woody, everyone. Give it up for Woody.
thanks. Hey, Joe, I hope you're still training because they comparing me to Khabib, buddy. Hey,
is that
I got a question. We have a couple Bears fans on here. Why? And again, Ken, me and you were talking about Bears don't get any respect or anything like that after that Eagles game.
Yep.
Fucking should open up people's eyes and stuff like that. Why are we 6.5 points underdogs for Sunday's game?
Well, let's go another question. People are doing their power rankings, and I've seen a couple where the Bears are ranked 10, 14, 16. Look, you're at week 13 of the NFL season. If you are the number 1 seed at week 13, you should make almost everyone's top 10 list at least, or at least top 10, if not top 5. So in either conference, if you are the number 1 seed, you should get some respect, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
and the flip side of that is because of people say about their schedule. I'm like, listen, look at the Patriots. Look at the Patriots' schedule, and look how far up they're ranked. So
easiest schedule in the league,
right? And they're ranked high. So I don't know if these ranking systems are all Packers fans that are making it, or what. But
I mean, in general, the NFC North gets no love, and then after that, the pecking order goes. The Packers get love because they were the best of the worst for so long, so they get the they've been there before argument. I heard that one this weekend. Well, they haven't been there. It's like, really, who cares? I don't care what happened last season or the season before or the last 10. It's what's going on the field right now. And every week you say, oh, the Bears can't win. And then they go and win. And the people are still rating the Eagles over the Bears. Like, well, the Bears aren't that good of a team, but the Eagles are the 5th best team or 4th best team in football. But the Bears aren't that good. But the Bears just steamrolled your ass at home. And the Bears, I mean, really? I mean,
one thing is too, like the rest of the season, the Bears have from the Pittsburgh game to the end of the year, the Bears have the second toughest schedule in the NFL. So,
and they beat both those teams. And look, there's some good news, Woody. They did both Bears-Packer games have been flexed, right?
Yeah.
This weekend was supposed to be a noon start. Now it's the NFC Fox game of the week, right? The 3:25 start. And then for the second game, 4:25.
Yeah, thanks. We're on the East Coast. That's the real coast.
Yeah, okay. Whatever.
The coast with the most.
I tell you. But then the rematch in a couple weeks has just been flexed to Sunday Night Football in America. It will be the Sunday Night Football in America game. Will be the second Bears-Packers game.
8:30.
And that one being 8:30 for you East Coast, or 7:30 for us normal people in the Central. 5:30 if you're out there in the West Coast. So while you're fighting traffic, you're listening to Sunday Night Football. So there is some love being shown to the Bears now in terms of scheduling and who's calling the games. Even though I don't know if Chris Collinsworth is an upgrade over Tom Brady, but they are getting some love that way. But I agree when it comes to like the betting line. Look, the Bears to make the playoff is still 30%. Like, really, they give the Packers a better percentage of making the playoffs than the Bears. They're giving teams the Bears have beaten and embarrassed a better chance at making the playoffs than the Bears. I mean, we just don't get any respect. We can go to the Super Bowl, and we'll still be the 10th ranked team in the league. We could win the Super Bowl and rank us at 15. It doesn't matter.
One thing about the Patriots, I went through the Patriots schedule yesterday. Patriots do have wins against the Bills, the Bucks, and the Panthers. So that's probably why they get a little bit of hype.
Yeah, but the
Other than
Bears
that,
got
their
rid-
schedule is absolute garbage. You know what I
Look,
mean?
when we
Like,
played Washington, they weren't the garbage team. When we played Washington, they were one of the favorites to win. And the Bears have effectively ended Washington's season. We did to them what they did to us last year. We beat them, and they have not won a game since. Right?
Well,
We started their losing streak. So, like, but they're a terrible team. When we
Yeah,
played them, they
but-
were not a terrible team.
Well,
They were
they don't-
everyone's
Right.
favorite darling that was picked over the Bears to win. We were picked to lose that game too.
Don't get me wrong. I think we're going to split with Green Bay. I just have that feeling that even though how good the Bears are playing right now, I am still scared of this game coming up at home at Green Bay. Yes, we beat them last year at home in the last game, but you know what? They rest their starters. That's when Malik Willis, he's probably still picking up his jaw piece from the ground.
yeah.
Well,
But-
and you're playing twice in 3 weeks. It's hard to beat
Yeah.
a team twice in 3 weeks. I mean, that's just and look, we're not the only division rival set that gets that because the Steelers and the Ravens are doing the same thing. And that, I love it. You love it in one way, and you hate it in another. It's like, I love division football at the end of the season because it means something. But you have to pack two division rivals that close together. You're like, at least maybe give us this week and then maybe week 17 or week 18. Like, have a break between there.
What? I got to
So are the Panthers and Bucks.
I got a question for Broski. Do you regret not us going to that Eagles game?
No, dude, that would just be a stupid move for me. But Woody, you got to understand, Broski owns Pennsylvania. So Broski goes to Pennsylvania. The Bears beat the Steelers, the city of my birth, Pittsburgh. Then that same week, the city I was raised in,
Well,
the Bears beat the Eagles.
On top of that, yeah. Did you have a bathroom problem, Ken? That sounded like you had some stomach issues. But we beat Pittsburgh on my birthday. And
Nice.
everybody knows how I love Philadelphia teams, and we beat them the week after.
Yeah. And then when I was driving back,
I think I'm your vice president, Broski.
you're the man. And that just means we can never be in the same location at the same time, though. You know what I mean?
I
Now,
give you a
Barry-
big
Barry, don't
fucking
take
hug.
Barry, don't take this the wrong way. This is not meant as a slam at you for what you're just saying in the comment. Because what you're saying in the comment, and for those who maybe can't read it at the moment, he's saying playoff football is way different. I don't care about standings. Every team has a chance. I think you would find that everyone on this panel agrees with you. However, your fellow Packer fans are the type of people, for the most part, when we say something like that, say, well, but the Packers and the playoffs, and we have all this, blah, 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 and blah, it's like, but when we say it, oh my God, but now this is what Packer fans are saying. And Barry, this isn't meant at you. You just happen to mention it. Because I find it funny that people, the Bears haven't been there. Oh, the Bears haven't played in a playoff game since 2020. Oh, they haven't won the division in 2018. The Packers will win everything because they won the division, blah, 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 blah. I mean, like, come on, guys. Like, the history is cool. Like, knowing the history is cool. Like, for instance, if the Bears win this weekend, it'll be the first time in Bears history that they'll have won 2 games at Lambeau Field in the same calendar year. That's never happened. And people go, oh, my God, look at the Packers. Look, they've never beaten the Packers twice in 1 calendar year at Lambeau. Well, then again, this is the first time those ever have the opportunity to do that because before the regular season was always over. The Super Bowl was in January, for crying out loud, for most of our lives, and late February. So you only got that opportunity maybe once and never, right? But so the history stuff is cool, but like I agree with Barry's. Now, Barry, this is where I agree with your comment because look at last year. 15 win team, 14 win team, one and done in the playoffs. The regular season don't mean shit. It just gets you to that dance. And once you get there, I don't care if you're the 77-9 New York Giants or the one-loss Chicago Bears in 1985. You have a chance to win the Super Bowl if you get in. But the problem is you have to get in. Right now, the Lions don't look like they're going to get in. They're in danger of not getting in.
Yeah, that last game might be their playoff in if they get anywhere.
I get why you guys are like upset about not getting respect. But honestly, you guys should be relishing this. Like, it means nobody is paying attention to you. Like, nobody sees you coming. You guys are like, the Bears are like the most front runner of a dark horse that I've ever seen. Like, you're freaking 9-3, and they're still counting you out. Like, I mean, you just beat the number one seed to take over the number one seed, and they're still not giving you your respect. If anything, I would roll with that. I'd be like, okay, we'll be 6.5-point dogs next week. Like, just keep winning games.
And look at that, it's great bulletin board fodder for the team, right? Like they can be like, keep disrespecting us, and we'll keep showing you, and then you'll disrespect us, and we'll show you again. I mean, you're right, Joe. And on one level, I do relish that because, like, look at we're playing with house money, right? So no one expects us to win, and then we win. They're like, "Oh my God, well, you're going to lose next week." Okay, whatever. And you know what's great? If we happen to lose, it's like you expected us to lose anyways. Why are you talking shit? I mean, okay, you expect us to lose, whatever. We're still 9-4 at that
And
point.
I think the part of it. Sorry, I was just going to say that I think that part of it, why you're not getting the respect, is I think people at large are expecting the balloon to burst at some point. Like they look at this like sort of like a lucky run, and your luck's going to come to an end, especially with this difficult stretch of schedule at the end of the season. So they're just kind of, that's why they're disrespecting you in the rankings, is because they think like the other shoe is going to drop. But
And Joe,
again,
that's my take.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't give a shit about power rankings. I don't care if we're the number one team in the NFC right now. I don't give a shit. I want them to finish the season strong and finish with a good record. And if they don't win the division, get in the playoffs and then go from there. You know what I mean? That's all I give a shit about. Like me and kind of said before, man, we're playing with house money right now. I'm not going to get all sore like, oh, well, the Eagles are ahead of us in ESPN's power ranking. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and plus playing with house money, you really have nothing to lose, because if you lose, it's like you already won double the games you won last year, right? Like you've definitely picked the right head coach. Your offense is playing extremely well. Like if you can get your defense playing like they did last week, like for the rest of the season, like I don't know, like you could surprise people in the playoffs. And what are they going to say then? It's like, oh, Bears got lucky and got to the divisional round, or the Bears got lucky and went to the NFC title game.
Look,
like,
even if we win the NFC championship, they'll say, "Oh, it's luck. It was all luck." It doesn't matter. That's what's going to happen, and that's fine. Let them keep saying it. Next year, we'll just come in like, "Oh, it was luck." Okay, we'll punch you in the face again.
And you know what's the most important thing of what you're saying, Joe? The players on the Bears feel like they're playing with house money too. I feel like they're loose, they're having fun. Like I love it, man.
And they see the disrespect, and it just gives them more, like I said, bulletin board fodder for them, and they say, okay, we'll just come out and do it again. And look at we've already broken the Wiener Circle twice this year. They ran out of hot dogs on Free Hot Dog Day again. So Chicago is getting fed. We're helping the feed the people of the city of Chicago. And look, I redid my man cave, and I purposely moved that thing right there because there we go. That's something the Lions and the Vikings don't have ever. So I mean, hey, whatever. Look at our Super Bowl trophy. Just it's going to sit there for Lions and Vikings fans to go, geez, I wish I could get one of those. It's just the NFC North in general gets shit on, and Green Bay being the best of the worst for such a long time. I get it to a degree, and I get where Lions fans, for being as shitty as they were for 3 decades, I get why some of them, not all of them, are the way they are right now. I get it, and some Lions fans are saying, we kind of missed our window. Look at it this season, and Morton might not be the guy, and losing Ben and AG might not have helped, even though their new defensive coordinator seems like he's actually pretty good. But they're realizing, okay, runs don't last forever. Green Bay still thinks that runs last forever because they've been managed pretty well overall over the last 3 decades. They've gotten lucky in the quarterback draw for the last 3 decades. But when they lose, it's still everyone else is lucky. It's like, no, dude, at some time you just got to give people their props.
Well, like I said to you the other day, Ken, when we were talking on Sunday, hopefully the Bears, because usually the hottest team going in at the end of the year usually makes a splash in the playoffs. I hope the Bears aren't getting hot at the wrong time. You guys understand what I'm saying?
I don't think they're there yet. I don't think we've seen their best football yet. And Ben, everything Ben has said has kind of happened. And Fred has a good take there. Say, hey, all these media people don't want to admit they were wrong on the Bears. And look, there are a lot of people in our own network who don't want to admit they were wrong on the Bears. But I think they're not playing their best football yet. We've yet to see a game on offense where they put it all together. We've seen bits of the defense looking like a good defense. Like last week, they had moments. So obviously, the takeaways is good. But we might get. Was it Edwards practice yesterday, or was it Edmonds? One of them might be back.
Edwards was limited.
Yeah, Edwards and Sewell were both limited. So but if we get Edwards and Edmonds both back to the playoffs and have that full defense, that Bears defense all of a sudden is going to maybe shock some people, because now Dennis Allen's going to open up that playbook, and I don't think Dennis Allen has really opened up the playbook much. We've seen bits and pieces of him opening them up, but we haven't seen him really get after it.
Yeah, he opened it up and it said, he opened up the page and said, "Oh, Tampa 2, let's go." So,
Hey guys, what if this happens? And I wasn't really even considering this till today. And there's some fans of other teams that are looking at it and they're like, they kind of think the Bears are going to go into Green Bay and do what they did to the Eagles to the Packers. I'm not expecting that to happen. I don't know if that can ever be repeated, but what if the Bears do run all over the Packers? What if the O-line does push the Packers D-line around? And what if the Bears are in control of the whole game? And they do that 2 weeks in a row against two really good teams. Damn, that would be something.
well, honestly, I think whoever wins this game coming up, I'm not looking towards the future or anything. Winner of this game coming up is going to be probably win the division. That's just me.
Because real quick, I don't think that the Lions' window is closed. I didn't mean to convey that. I don't think their window is closed, but I think some Lions fans are realizing windows aren't forever. And that while it may not be closed, they have to do some things, or it may close. Let me put it that way. As far as this weekend, look, if the Bears win this weekend, we have a game and a half. So now if we drop the next one to the Packers, we still have the half game advantage, right? I mean, yes, whoever wins this game, if the Packers win, they only go up a half game. The Packers don't have an easy schedule. The Bears don't have an easy schedule. I think whoever wins this game, it's a slight advantage because you obviously are going to be either a half game or a game and a half in front. So that
tie might hurt them. That tie might hurt them coming up in when it makes the playoffs.
Well, it could help them though. Like
something?
if Dallas comes back, or it could help them though too with some teams because it's a help and hurt. Woody, I think it could go both ways.
Yeah, and in my opinion, the Lions need to go 4-1 the rest of the way out to make the playoffs.
I think
if they go 3-2, they're not making the playoffs.
What, St. Brown is out? What, 4 games?
I'm not sure how many. I think Laporta is definitely out the rest of the year.
Yeah, he
Brock
is.
Wright. I think Brock Wright's still out this week, if I'm not mistaken.
So they have no tight ends.
Yeah, they're starting their third string tight end again this week. I'm pretty sure.
So really, they have a shitload of Gibbs and JMO.
So I mean, here's what you're
pretty
looking
much
at, right? You're looking at that issue in Detroit with some injuries piling up. You look at Green Bay; they're without their best tight end. They're without some of their offensive line. They've got injuries, right, that are starting to stack. They're not getting healthier; they're getting hurt. You look at the Vikings; they've been basically fighting this the whole year, the injury issue. The Bears are the healthiest of the 4 teams right now, and they look to be getting healthier and not adding too many. Not adding to the IR. They look to be getting more people back overall. So it's interesting, and the Bears are doing what good football teams do at this time of year. They are running the ball. Number 1 in the league since their bye week. Number 1 in the league running. So I still find it funny that Bears fans, we need to establish the running game. Like, dude, we're number 1 in the league right now. What are you talking about?
In the beginning of the year, we couldn't run shit.
No, that's a weird thing. At the beginning of the year, we were passing our ass off,
Mhm.
right? Caleb's gonna get the 4,000 quicker than shit. Now we're just running, and I'm fine with that too.
Well,
Um,
I like some fans too, non Bears fans, when they say, "Oh, well, Caleb Williams only had 150 yards." I'm like, dude, we had 281 yards rushing. We didn't need the pass. Come on.
I don't care what the quarterback, how many yards he has if we win the game. I don't care if he throws for 500 and we win, or if he throws for 100 and we win. As long as we win, I don't care what his throwing. And you look at most of his incompletions against Philly, throwaways, and I'm happy with that. Like, okay, oh, but he had 20 incomplete passes. How many of them were throwaways? Well, 15 of them. I'm good with that. Are you good with that?
You just got to practice on those screen passes and get them over the defensive
Yeah.
end.
Yeah, you know, Barry, I mean, I think either one I think they've got those reputations, but the Packers don't exactly have a phenomenal reputation under Jordan Love either. I mean, they've won a playoff game. They're 1-2 with Love in the playoffs. So, you
Well,
know,
well, the E-girls better pipe up because Dallas is what, 2 games behind them?
Dallas, look at Dallas since they got Quentin Williams and they brought in the other I forgot the other linebacker they brought in. I mean, their defense has gotten better. Their defense has gotten better under Eberflus. Um, Quentin Williams has made the difference with him and Kenny up front, Kenny Clark up front. They're good against the run, which was their big problem last year. They still have good DBs on the pass. They are not an easy defense. They're not the same team we faced or Green Bay faced. They're better than
Well,
what they were, I think.
I want to hear Joe's voice. Joe, what's your thoughts on the Raiders?
Man, I mean, I don't know, man. Their offensive line is absolute dog shit, and it's I don't like some of the coaching decisions that Pete Carroll has made as far as switching people on that offensive line, putting them in positions where they're not their best, and whatever problem he has with Jackson Powers Johnson, like he needs to just get over it because he's been making that dude compete for a starting spot this whole season against like Jordan Meredith. Like just objectively, if you put those two next to each other, Jackson Powers Johnson is a way better offensive lineman than Jordan Meredith is. I'm
So
sorry,
is
but
Pete Carroll, is he maybe possibly going to get fired at the end of this season?
I don't know if he's going to get fired because Raiders want to do that to him like that. I think he might get behind the scenes. He might get pushed heavily to resign or to step aside. But I don't think that's the right answer for the Raiders. Like you've been hiring and firing coaches every year for the last 20 years, and what has it got you? Like I think that there needs to be some continuity, but at the same time, I don't like the direction that Pete has us going in. Like I like him as a coach. I think he's a great coach, but I think he's one of those I'm going to make my players fit my scheme rather than I'm going to scheme around my players. I would really like to see the Raiders get a coach that looks at the roster objectively and says, okay, this is what we can do well, and this is what we don't do well. So my offense is going to take advantage of what we do well and try to mask our deficiencies. Like, I don't think Pete is that guy.
Fred says
And
he'll trade you John Morton for Jackson Powers.
I don't think a good offensive coordinator is going to take care of the problem. The Raiders have a talent issue at offensive line, number one. Colton Miller is injured. Jackson Powers Johnson is injured. But even with those two guys, that's two good players on a line of 5. Like you need at least 3 good offensive linemen just to have a serviceable line, right?
You know, I said this, Joe, you'll remember this. I said this about the Lions. The Lions kind of gave a blueprint. The Lions and the Vikings gave a blueprint on how to build a team. And the Bears kind of followed that blueprint to a degree, and then Foles put his twist on it. I think now you'll see because of the success the Bears have had, like while the media won't give us the props, other GMs will, right? Because they're going to try to mimic what the Bears have done this year and what the North has done in general over the last couple of years to make all 4 teams, contending teams. yeah, I get the Vikings only won 4 games this year so far, but their issue has been mostly injuries, to include the injury to JJ. But the blueprint is still good, right? Because if that team's healthy, they're a good fucking football team. But you look at the Bears, you look at the Lions, look at the Packers, they're all relevant. And even look, the Vikings have been relevant for the last couple of years. So you look at the way they build teams, I think you'll see teams do that. And the Raiders could look at the Bears and say, well, look, like what you just said, Ben Johnson, the reason why he's a good head coach, he didn't come in with his system that he was running in Detroit and say, okay, personnel on Bears roster, run this system I ran in Detroit. No, he switched the system up, right? He tailored it. One of the first things he said, I'm going to create an offense based off of Caleb and the talents of this team. That's what the next head coach needs to do in Vegas and a couple other places. That's going to be the trend. Now they're going to look for head coaches who are going to design an offense or a defense, if they get a defensive-minded head coach, on the players they have on the team, not just bring their scheme there and hope it works and you can make it fit. That's the first thing they're going to do. And then they're going to look at the ways these teams were built. Draft, they both used Cole said, well, I'm going to build via the draft. Well, he did, and he didn't, right? He built pieces of it in the draft, Caleb, Rome, Luther, right? I don't know if you want to count DJ Moore as part of that because of the draft trade, right? But then he did part of it by signing people in the offseason, like the offensive line last year. He mixed both. And I think the Raiders could get back quick, within 2 years before Max is done. If they follow that, and that part of that, though, means you have to get rid of Pete Carroll because you're right. Pete Carroll said, here's my system I've run for 4 decades. You will run it. And it's not
I think you're assuming competency in the Raiders front office that I'm not so sure is there. Like I as much as I like Tom Brady being a part of it. I wish he would take more of an active role. I'm not really sure about Spytech, the GM. Like, this draft class has been a bit underwhelming when you look at how many. But that's the thing that we can't really tell is, like, was this a bad draft class because not very many of the rookies are actually playing and contributing, or is it that Pete is not letting them play?
Yeah.
Like, I think.
And the other piece too comes, I think, Joe, like, who's going to be available to be a head coaching hire? Like, is there anyone that's going to be available? Like, Broski asks if Flores gets a head coaching gig this offseason. And honestly, as long as him and Chucky have court cases, and I got ahead of you there, John, because I knew you were someone was going to bring it up, if not me. And until those court cases are done, they're not involved in the next head coaching hire. So if you're the Raiders, you're like, well, we got Pete Carroll. Well, if we fire him, who's out there? Are we going to bring Vrabel in? Is he going to be the guy? I mean, like, well, he's a good offensive guy, but, well, okay. I mean, who else is out there? Who's the hot OC or DC who's the belle of the ball this year? It's not like Ben Johnson was the belle of the ball for 2 years before he finally decided he wanted to be a head coach and take the Chicago gig. Who's that belle of the ball? Who's got a couple years of an offense that just has been, wow, good. Or a couple years of a defense that's just been, wow, good. That the Raiders are going to say, yeah, we can actually get this person to replace Pete Carroll with them. So if you don't have an out there with a pedigree as good as Pete next for this class of prospective coaches, you probably keep Pete. Ooh, McCarthy? Ooh, I don't know.
Like, I think they'll end up either Pete will stay or Pete will resign at the end of the season because he was only a short-term hire anyway. Like,
right.
He only planned to coach for 3 years to begin with. Yep. I don't know that I necessarily want Pete in charge of our draft picks next year. Like, because the Raiders, this is just me. The Raiders need to go ahead and just draft a quarterback. Like, right now you're at number 3. Like, I know that, it's kind of a mixed bag. 50% of people say, no, you got to build the team first, then you get the quarterback. Then the other 50% say, no, you get the quarterback, and it doesn't matter. You can build the team while you have the quarterback on a rookie contract. Like, I don't feel that quarterback is putting the cart before the horse. I think
look at the Bears. The Bears did it that way, and it failed with Trubisky. Well, Trubisky, I don't know if that was the case, but it failed with Justin, but it's working with Caleb, right? And I think it's what you and how you what you bring in with the rookie. So if you can do both. I agree with you, Joe. You can do both because the Bears kind of got the quarterback, then got the line, right? But you run the risk, and luckily for us, Caleb is durable. Caleb didn't get into any bad habits that came from last year to this year. He actually got better he got getting rid of bad habits as the season went on last year. I think though that's dependent on the quarterback you draft. And does this draft have a quarterback that if you were to draft him, you're like, okay, is this guy going to survive a year of a sucky line and a sucky offense, or are we going to ruin him?
Well, the Raiders have a full slew of draft picks, and if they stay at number 3 or even move up, they don't have to get a quarterback. So they get to keep that draft capital so they could draft. Plus, they have over $100 million in cap space, over $100 million. Plus, that's not even counting if the cap increases this year. Like,
he froze up. I think Fields would have been more successful in Ben Johnson's offense. I think Fields is really not so okay, John. You'll find out this weekend when he beats you. Fields gets cut. Maybe him going. I feel bad for him to go to the Raiders to be another 1-year guy.
anyway, the Raiders could end up with like $150 million in cap space, close to it. Like, not that they should go spending it all, but if they want to address the offensive line, they definitely can. If they want to address a couple places on defense, they definitely can. But for quarterbacks,
what if Fields?
Everybody is on Mendoza. Everybody likes Mendoza, but I like Ty Simpson from Alabama. Like, and I'll tell you why. Like, I know that the knock on him is that he's only started like 10 games in college, right? But he's a redshirt junior, so he's been at that program getting seasoned for a couple years. When he finally gets to start, his numbers have been fantastic, but he has some elite traits that I really like. Number one is his processing speed. Like, he gets through his progressions really quick, and he's a quick decision maker. He gets the ball out of his hands, and if you have a bad offensive line, you need that. You need a quarterback that can get rid of the ball quickly.
What if Fields gets released from the Jets?
I'm good.
Would you take a flyer on him?
Maybe as a backup. Like, I would probably say, like, let him come in as a backup, because I could design some,
Let him get dogged out by with the shitty offensive line while you go get one for the new quarterback. I mean, I feel bad for Fields. That seems to be the situation he keeps getting stuck in. Like, he has not played for a good offensive team yet. Well, kind of he had success with the Steelers, and then they said, well, we're going to go with, we're going to bench him when he was 4-2. He probably could have done a lot better in Pittsburgh. I know a lot of Pittsburgh fans are mad they got rid of him. Hell, there are Bears fans who are still mad we got rid of him. If you're going to use your draft capital this year to not get a quarterback, Fields might be a good bridge, but I don't think the Jets are going to get rid of him. They might. They benched him, but I mean, he might be a good bridge, but the poor guy has just gotten a shit draw everywhere he's gone.
Yeah, I'm drafting a quarterback. If it's me, I'm drafting Ty Simpson, because, like I said, his processing speed, like, is something that the Raiders are going to need if their offensive line is terrible. And I'm going to try to address the offensive line, but you can't expect that you're going to draft a bunch of rookie offensive linemen and they're going to come in and be all-stars. Like, there's going to be some growing pains. So you got to have a guy that's not going to get injured in the meantime while that offensive line gets to play together.
You go out, you get like a Justin Fields to play because, at least he can run the ball at this point in his career. And if he gets hurt, whatever, it's probably not costing you much, but you save your rookie quarterback. Malik Willis is an interesting one for Dorn. I mean, look, if the Packers let Malik Willis go, Jordan Love is happy. You have to hear about.
But I don't want a guy like Justin Fields. Nothing against Fields. Like, I root for the guy, but I don't want him teaching my new quarterback. Like, I want a guy like Case Keenum, or like, I want an old I want an old veteran that understands the game to be like coaching up my new quarterback, right? Like Ty Simpson's game is not Justin Fields' game, right? Like they're so I don't think that he's going to teach him that much. Number one, it just depends on your philosophy, I guess. Like if you want to try to win games in the interim, like using Justin Fields' athleticism, I guess you could do that. But I would rather have a guy who's like very experienced, like Case
I would
Keenum.
draft. Here's what I would do, Joe. Honestly, I think this would be a good idea. If the Jets release Fields, I get Fields, and then I draft a quarterback. But I tell Fields, look, you're not coming here to be a quarterback. You're the new Taysom Hill. You're gonna line up in the backfield, and you're gonna run. You're gonna run routes. You're gonna throw every so often. You're gonna become that Swiss Army knife. That's gonna be our unpredictability factor. So when they're
I wouldn't
getting
be
on our
against
rookie
that.
quarterback too much, he's gonna do a halfback toss to you, and you're either gonna take off running, or when they come at you, you're gonna lob it 65 yards on the field. But let him become the new Taysom Hill, and I think he would accept. Actually, I think he would be good in that role. And then you offer protection for your rookie quarterback while you're still playing your rookie quarterback in a weird way. Um, because now, could you imagine? I mean, you have a set where you throw, you know, your rookie quarterback's out there. You got Genty back there. Then you throw Fields into that mix, and defense are gonna be like, okay, what the hell's going on here? And then he could direct snap it. It could be a handoff for the pass. It could be a trick play. I mean, he could just run it. He could run a route. He's athletic enough to run routes and catch the ball. I mean, that would be interesting. Hendon Hooker is not an answer. His
I
name,
wouldn't. The thing is I wouldn't be putting my number one quarterback in to start right away. Like I would give him some reps throughout the season. Like in certain, I would bring him in certain games
but
for a
most coaches
series or
won't
two.
do that. They won't do that. Like, look at I think the Giants did it right. Right? I mean, and the reason they could do it the way they did it, waiting to start their rookie quarterback, was they drafted him at the back end of the round. You're talking number 3 overall. Dude, you draft a
Mhm.
quarterback at number 3, the overwhelming majority of fans, right, are gonna want him to start today, game 1. I mean, that's how it is. If you're a
Yeah.
top 10 pick, they expect you to start immediately. If you're a back end of the first round, they don't expect it immediately, but at some point in the season, they expect that guy to start. So if you take any quarterback in the first round, he's playing next year. If it's at number 3, he's your day 1 starter.
See, that's the thing is I wouldn't listen to the fans. Like I would.
But they do.
It's not like the fans are filling up the stadium anyway. Like we have a no home field advantage because other teams' fans come and fill up our stadium. So the fans, in my opinion, I'm not going to let them dictate how I do things. Like I would ease my quarterback into the role. I would have a veteran in there, and like I said, I would bring him in for a couple series in each game, like 1 or 2 series, because I'm not worried about the continuity of this veteran quarterback. I'm not trying to win a bunch of games next year. Like I'm trying to my main goal for my team is to see how my offensive line improves and to get my quarterback some reps without
Well,
getting him
let,
killed.
let's
That's
shift
my
off.
goal.
Let's shift off the offseason because we're gonna have more than enough time to talk about the offseason.
Yeah.
Let's look at another team that might have an early offseason in your division. What do you think Kansas City's chances are of making the playoffs?
I mean, I have a hard time envisioning them not being in the playoffs just because the NFL loves them so much. And their schedule, we just saw their schedule is a cupcake going forward. Like they realistically could win every game from this point out. And if they do, I mean, they'll be what, like 11-6.
Well, I wouldn't call it cupcake. So this week on Sunday Night Football, they get Houston, who has the number 1 ranked defense in the league, which is interesting because KC's 3.5-point favorites going up against the number 1 defense in the league. Right
Yeah.
now, if I look at KC the rest of the year out, okay. Well, first off, KC is there. We go. Okay, they get the Texans, then they get the Chargers, then they get the Titans. That's cake. Then they get the Broncos, and they get the Raiders. So their last 5, 3 of them are tough. 2 of them are probably cake.
I don't know. I think they'll beat Houston. And the Chargers, like, who
And this
knows
is
what
a team
them?
that right now is 6-6 and on the cusp.
Yeah, I mean, they got what 5 games. I could see them realistically winning 4 of those.
So the Chargers are 8-4. The Texans are 7-5. Right. I mean, so they got good, and the Broncos, of course, are 10-2. Um, yeah, I mean, if they lose tonight, they drop to 6-7. I think they're pretty much out of it. I mean, well, this way, are the Dolphins out of it? Do you think the Dolphins have a shot at 5-7? Because look, at the Dolphins win this week, and KC loses. Guess what? They're tied record wise. You know what I'm saying?
I would have to see the playoff picture right now.
Right now, the 7th seed is the Bills at 8-4. Now the Colts are fading at 8-4, right? So that gives room for the Texans, who are in that three-way race of that division between the Jags. The Jags and the Colts are 8-4. The Texans are 7-5. So the Texans are playing, to get in that stay in that division hunt. Then after the Texans at 7-5, you have the Steelers at 6-6 and the Chiefs at 6-6. And of course, the Steelers have that big game this week with the division leading Ravens, who are also 6-6. So there is room there. If they lose, then let's say the Chiefs go to 6-7. Let's say the Steelers lose, they go to 6-7. The Texans though would go to 8-5, but that would also mean that the Jags go but either the Jags or the Colts are going to also drop down to 8-5. You can see. I mean, this is it's a tough. They need some help. The Chiefs don't
Yeah,
control their own destiny. They need a lot of help. Kind of like the same way that the Lions, who right now are the 8th seed in the NFC, that's 7-5. Right now, the 7th seed is 9-4. They need help too, right? And the Cowboys are 6-5-1, but the Cowboys to get in just need they need help because the Eagles are 8-4, and yeah, I mean they need help. The NFC is looking more solid. Like the playoff picture starting to solidify a lot easier than the AFC. But I mean, it's a tough call for the Chiefs to get in. I don't know if they make it this year.
I would love for them not to, but I don't know.
No MMA
I
show
think they
this
can.
week. No MMA. I'm sorry, Joe. Fred, no MMA show this week. Ken is out for the week, so they will resume hostilities like that next week. I
Yeah,
wouldn't say the AFC is limping. I think it's just not as clear cut as the NFC. The NFC is a little more clear cut.
yeah, yeah. Put it this way: if Kansas City gets into the playoffs, it will mean that they went on a serious run and they deserve it. If they don't, then I'll be, of course, happy because we'll finally get to see somebody else in the Super Bowl. I'm tired of watching Kansas City in the Super Bowl, win or lose.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, there's a little bit of a changing of the guard this year. I mean, look, you got 3 first-year coaches for their teams, 2 are first-time head coaches who are, making playoff runs, right? Jacksonville, Chicago. Um, and then you've got New England with a good head coach who did a good job in Tennessee, and they were stupid to let him go, making their run. You got a little bit of a kind of a pseudo changing of the guard. You got in the North being the NFC North being the mess that it is Green Bay is still in the thick of it. The Lions are in the thick of it, but slipping a little bit. Some of it may be due to injuries, some of it due to new play callers. The Vikings with their injury history. The AFC North is, I mean, heck, even Cincinnati thinks they still have a chance. That's a division that no one's wanted to win this year, and that's going to be so there's some divisional matchups that are going to be great. Like even the NFC West, like who's going to win that division? All 3 of those teams, no one saw that coming. People thought, well, at least maybe the Rams would be good. And after that, but you got 3 teams that are looking to make the playoffs. They're sending 3 teams in the playoffs right now. I mean, it's going to be interesting. Yeah, Deshaun Watson was designated for return to practice, but he's still on the IR. I don't think they're going to activate him off the IR, John.
Yeah, I
Then they
don't.
got to pay him.
When are
So,
they
I mean,
finally going to be able to let him go?
I think after this year or next year. Yeah, that was a bad contract. Bad contract.
Man,
Tomorrow, though, man, we'll have to talk about the game tomorrow a lot more tomorrow, too. I mean, so Lions fans, come in hot. Get some Cowboy fans in here. Tomorrow's game is going to be probably one that it should be a really good. I would hope it's a good game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout for any one team. I'm just wondering which Lions team shows up tomorrow. The team that
Yeah.
at times this year we've gone, wow, they're the best team in the NFL, or the team that keeps shooting themselves in the dick.
yeah, it's and Dallas is kind of, they're getting hot at the right time.
Yeah, can
Um,
they stay hot? They've been
can
running the
they
ball.
stay hot? I mean, really, that goes for everybody because it's December football now, and this is when the teams really separate themselves, like the playoff teams from the wannabes.
And
So
this is where, when you're playing outdoors, as we saw in Philly last week, you have to be able to run because the
yeah,
weather is going to screw with the passing game. We'll do the pick tomorrow, Barry, for tomorrow's game. We'll do it tomorrow. This way, you have a reason to watch tomorrow. Come on. I learned a little something from network TV.
and this is why I talk about Kansas City that I think they'll end up making the playoffs is because when December comes, the teams that the contenders they always rise to the top, right?
Yep.
And Kansas City has been there. Like they have buku
They
playoff
got to run the ball.
experience.
Like, this is December football. You got to run. The Bears are doing it. You got to run. Green Bay's got to run, and they do have a good running team as long as Josh Jacobs is healthy. When I look at Kansas City, like, okay, or can they get the running game on track? They flirted with it. If they get on track, maybe Dallas's running game is working right now. You need a good running game, and this is going to change over the next 3 or 4 years as more teams go from outdoors to domes, right? Because the dome team, it doesn't matter how well you run in December; the weather's perfect. But I think you're going to see, as we get more dome teams, then this formula will somewhat change. But still true right now, you have to have a good run game at this point of the season. If you don't, you're cooked.
Yeah. And this is the time of year when Kansas City's defense gets really hot too. So,
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
it
This
keeps them in games that they shouldn't be in. So we'll see if they can recapture that magic. But I just think with their experience, like they've been here before, and that there's something to be said about that.
Well, hey, we're about out of time today. No MMA show this week, as I said, because Ken is out for the week. Tonight at 7 p.m. Central, 8 on the East, we'll have House Hall Report. At 8:30 Central, 9:30 on the East, we'll have the Roundtable JB. Of course, Joe and I will be back here tomorrow. We will be talking more about the Lions-Cowboys game, giving our predictions. And of course, the other goings-ons in the league. Everyone have a great, great Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. Stay warm because it's even cold here in Florida. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you again tomorrow. Have a good one, everyone.